All right.
So, what show you end deciding doing?
Me or
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
Um, okay, sorry. I wound up getting accepted to Art Birmingham, but not until I had to pay my booth fee for Rittenhouse. So that was a difficult decision for me. I would have preferred, based on what Larry and you guys were saying, to do Birmingham, but I didn't get notification until early this week or
yeah.
yesterday, I guess
Yesterday,
yesterday.
we
Yesterday.
didn't jury the show until last week.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't jury the show until last week.
Oh, you juried it. Oh, okay. Well, I got in, which was fantastic, but I already paid $675 to Rittenhouse on the 28th, and I can't get that back. I
I
looked
would
at
go with Rittenhouse.
sorry.
I would go with Rittenhouse.
Yeah, that's what I've got to do because the only way I can do anything with that $675 is I have a year in which to use it. I don't know if I could use it for the fall show or next spring show, but you still have to get juried in. So I think I just need to do it. I know it's going to be expensive for parking and everything, but I found a place to stay and I'll just try it. I've never really been to Philadelphia. Very briefly once in grad school, and I'll just try it out. It's supposed to be a wealthy area of town or a good area of town, and hopefully there'll be people and just give it a try, you know? Just give it
Uh,
a try.
just decline Birmingham as quickly as you possibly can.
I already did. I did it immediately. I
Okay,
emailed Nicole and I did it on Zap immediately.
okay.
I emailed Nicole, she never responded to me, but I told her the
Oh,
situation.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, you're on the jury with the guild or?
I'm part of the board of the guild.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and
So,
I juried
and
that
I
show.
got I got waitlisted to Ann Arbor Summer Fair, but I was declined to the original. I didn't apply
Marianne
to stay.
Marianne was declined on the original. We're on the wait list for the summer show.
Yeah, same for me. I'm on the wait list too.
Yeah, but you can get in off the wait list. There are a lot of cancellations.
Well,
That's
hopefully.
what is her name Nicole?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I talked to Nicole today. I because I wanted to find out about where we were on the wait list. She said that with considering um, all mediums, we're like 28, 30. She didn't have the exact number, but she said that she thought that we would easily be able to get in because of the fact that a lot of people will move around and cancel and stuff like that. So hopefully,
I didn't know we should ask or I didn't do anything like that.
You can ask. Never hurts that way. But that weekend, if you don't do an hour, there's nothing else to do. So, or you get called in, or you don't do anything. It's one of the two.
That's true. I
Just to
mean, I
give
can
you
do a local show around here, but
couple of
yeah.
things with Rittenhouse. So um, find if you can get a spot hero, get the parking that way. Airbnb is always cheaper in there than anything else. And Robin is the director, and that's the one person you don't want to piss off from anybody because she knows every single director. She run our legs. She's not the person you want to have on the wrong side. Just to let
Okay.
you know,
Thank
Carol is
you.
really, really helpful. So if you got, she will guide you and help you. And there's a little supermarket. I think it's by the Starbucks that you
Okay.
can buy in there for. And I was used to get something in there because eating around there is really expensive. The cheapest thing you're going to find is something like Shake Shack. Everything else is going to be expensive.
Well, I got something with a kitchen, so and I will bring my own food. I always bring my own food, so I'm just gonna be set with
And
that.
there's no storage space behind the booth, just to let you know.
Okay. Okay.
It's exactly what you have. You have to keep everything inside. It's one of the shows that everything you have need to stay inside your 10 by 10 space.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it.
And it's Mother Day weekend. It's a zoo. And I really strongly suggest is to get the parking before you get there, because if you wait until you get there, that particular weekend, you're not going to find parking. And there's a parking behind the church. If you Google it, the Rittenhouse, there's a parking lot next to a church in there. That's the closest one. Then after that, keep going, I would say west from there, and
Okay.
you will find more lots. But everything around close by is going to be for the whole week. Oh, this is very important. When you park the car, don't move it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
going to be like $150, $200 to park the car.
yeah, because it's like I was finding them for $25 a day for 24 hours. So if I can get that, that's what I'm hoping for. But you said to go behind this church.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is church.
okay.
Just look at go to Google Maps,
Yeah.
and you're going to see it's like a church. I think it's one of the upper, I think it's one of the corners. It's
Okay.
in
Okay.
it's
I'll find it.
18 and the other one. I cannot remember the name of the street right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll find it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
And
What's the
So
date? What's the date on this show?
it's the 9th
one
through
of
the
this
11th,
weekend.
9th through
Okay.
the 11th. Um, and like I said, I have a place with a kitchen that's within walking distance, just a few blocks of the square.
So you're doing really good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And if you had time to walk around the tolls, I know that when I do the show from Chicago to Pittsburgh, it's $80 each way.
Oh, the tolls. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So if you
I was thinking about taking 80 because I don't think there are tolls on 80 in Pennsylvania. I can't remember.
No, there
I
aren't.
think they
But
There aren't?
76 is much closer to Philly.
Right, but I'm coming from Cleveland and I mean, I'll do the math, but I think 76 is the turnpike that has tolls all the way to Philly.
Yeah, it is.
But but 80, I don't think, I mean, if I'm coming from Cleveland, I can go straight across on 80, then
it's
drop
going
down.
to it's a really long ride. I've done it
Um,
that way. Like I went I go to the first toll, which is $20, and then I go like I was going to Penn State, and then go that way all the way to Philadelphia.
I
It's a
think
long, tedious, hard drive.
Yeah,
So if you get tired, you screw.
I think
yeah.
287 is what you want to come down on.
287.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at a map.
Okay, yeah, 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 I will. Yeah, I know. I mean, I have family in Maine and
But
I'm
the turnpike, the advantages of the turnpike are the rest stops.
right. But it's only a 6-hour drive. I mean, only, it's a
From
6-hour
where?
drive, but
No,
sorry,
it's
from
no,
Cleveland.
from
From Cleveland is 6 hours. Yeah. A little over, but pretty much 6 hours. So, I can handle that. My husband will be with me, so we'll
So
trade off driving. It really won't be
it
too
should be
bad.
fine. Don't It's a good show, depending who show up that weekend.
Have you done it, Oscar?
Yeah, I always done it.
Or what are you doing that
wait,
weekend?
we're talking about two different Rittenhouse Square shows.
Right, you're the art one, I'm the craft one, because
No,
I do the
photography.
crap on because I'm a photographer.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah,
Oscar
yeah.
can't do the art show.
Right. But you're doing Birmingham?
But I need to be
Well,
closer to home. The problem with doing Rittenhouse, the only cost more money for me to do it is it. I will have to leave Wednesday to get there Wednesday night. Set up Thursday. The show is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. and then Monday. So that put me 6 days out of my
Oh
house.
yeah. Oh yeah. See, I'll go Thursday. It's 6 hours. I requested a 5 o'clock to 6:30 setup, which you can stay longer, but they leave, first, but you can stay longer, I
And
think.
you can also finish it. You don't have to just put the 10
Tent
up,
up.
drop
Yeah.
everything else, and then finish in the morning
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the show doesn't start to 11.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I'm gonna leave that morning, and so that's Thursday, and then stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, break down Sunday night, and just drive home. Um, so I know it's a long day and whatever, but what was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh, for me to go to Kalamazoo, it's 4 hours. Okay. So, and I want to do more Michigan shows. I had great luck at the garage sale. I did
Mhm.
really well for the however many hours it was open. And I got rid of things that I wanted to retire. And because I have new work, and I have a lot of processing to do. And so I wanted to get rid of stuff, and I did, and that was fantastic. Um, so you have to, like you guys said, you have to kind of, or I talked to Bonnie at the show too, and she said you just have to understand that you're going to sell your work for less than what it's worth, but you are getting rid of things that you don't want to carry around anymore, and it's a win at the end of the day. So I took all of your advice and I did that. I mean, I
How
had people
were
coming
how,
to
how were
my
crowds? How were crowds
they
there?
they were good, especially at the beginning. It tapered off the last 2 hours.
Hmm.
I thought I was going to walk the show, and I went, and I was really lucky because I went around. I was in the first um, building, not the main building, but the side building, and so I went to, and I was in the very far corner, by the doors when you load in, the very farthest booth. And I went to walk the show, and then I came around down the aisle where my booth was, and then I saw this woman and her mother who came into my booth, and they had come in earlier. And then I saw, oh my God, they were talking to my husband, and I mean, he knows a few things, but not a lot. So I go in there, and they wound up buying 5 frame pieces from me. So that was fantastic. So
That's great. That's
yeah, that
great.
was really good. And that was at the end of the show.
Did
Uh,
you get a sense of like um you know price points? Like I know things have to be marked down, but were people selling expensive, like really expensive things that were then marked down at all or
I really couldn't say, because I
Mhm.
didn't see the main part of the show, and I have two friends who actually 3 friends who were in it. Chuck Wimmer and Paul Fletcher and Linda. Shoot, what's Linda's name? You guys know her, I'm sure. Um, she's from Michigan. She does beautiful work, painter. Um, anyway, I didn't see that whole side. On my side, there was a lot of what I would consider low end things,
Mhm.
like really low end things. There was a beautiful ceramicist behind me. She did beautiful work. I bought a piece from her. And so I don't think people were marking things down as much as I was. And what I was like a half off on all of my framed pieces and my
Mhm.
matted pieces. But what I did is I had prints that I had not matted nor framed. And I decided I wasn't gonna do anything with them. So what I did is I just put them in a sleeve with some backing board and sold them for really cheap.
Mhm.
And people just scoop them up. And for me, that's like just a total profit because I wasn't going to do anything with them anyway. But
Right.
literally, customers said, "How can you sell these for $20? How can you sell these for whatever?" I mean, I sold 8 by 12 prints for $5. And
Mhm.
I had 5, 10, 15, 20 on different sizes of prints, and I was just glad to be rid of them. So
Right. No, that's great. That's really it's always on my radar, but
yeah, so
um
I saw people having signs like 10% off or 25% off. I did
mhm.
see those.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's far from me is the thing, but it's,
You're
I
in
have
Santa
jewelry.
Fe? Are you in
Yeah,
Santa Fe? Okay.
yeah. I mean, I have jewelry that's it's good stuff. It's just my work has changed since then, and I'd price things to sell.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, it's nice to have a specific audience for that. I used to have from the archive sales in my studio, which worked out okay. But I, that's just so specific.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing wrong with the work. It's just they're
Right.
pieces that I love. It's just not my style anymore. I've
Yeah, sure.
changed. So
Sure. Same with
Allison,
me.
yeah.
there's the pricing there is anywhere from my stuff I just blow out to get rid of it.
Hmm.
I mean,
So
incredibly cheap,
I mean,
like
could I
80,
sell,
90% off. But you
but
could sell stuff as long as people think they're getting a deal.
I mean, it's true. Like, for example, if I have these fabulous bracelets that back in the day, they were probably $600. If I sold them for $200, do you think there's a market there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
precious metals and,
yeah.
Yeah.
um,
for
Yeah.
sure. For
Because
sure.
it's all about what they think is worth now compared, if you're given a price, that regular you will be able to sell that for $1,000, but it's not your market, and you just trying to sell it to your cost, they would think there's
mhm,
a deal, so they will buy it. It's just that that's not what the show is known for. Everybody,
right,
it's a garage sale because the name of the show, but you can sell expensive stuff in there if you mark it up down.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And do not take a fancy display.
yeah,
Right. No, I understand that. I understand. You can
And,
Now,
have everything.
what did you
You get
wait, what did you
tables.
say, what did you say, Court? What did you
don't
say?
take a fancy display.
don't take a fancy display and, hand do some signs that say like, you know, 50% off, 40%, big signs that say, 60% off if you're marking it
Hmm.
down from 600 to 200.
Right.
I don't know about that because I can't remember her last name, Linda. She's a painter. She does kind of primitive works, people. She's 73. God, I wish I could look her up, but I see her in Columbus. I see her in different Ohio shows, and she told me make your booth look good. Have your regular booth set up, or at least make it look good because then you have a better chance of getting the prices that you want for your things. Now, mind you, I mean, I just had my traditional indoor setup because I can't really do anything else but it because I have mesh walls, so I can't really do anything else. But anyway,
But see, it depends upon, in my case, I have stuff that I've had that's way old. I've already written it off. I've already paid for it. I've already written it off. If I get any money out of it at all, it's found money.
got it.
And
Right.
I'm marking stuff just like prints that were literally $300. I'm selling for $25.
Sounds like my
Mhm.
garage.
So, I don't set up my normal booth. And
And I
because
would
I
I would
want it
keep
to
it.
I want it to look cheap. I want it to look like a garage sale. Now, if you are, only taking 10, 20, 30% off, yeah. And you have higher ticket items, yeah. Setting up your booth is probably a good idea.
I
It
think
depends
a
upon,
modified booth because it'd fly. But and I think I'm pretty sure I can get good advice from Bonnie even
yeah.
with pricing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
The last time
uh,
I did it, I did not do well there because I took
mhm.
too much junk and I tried to do things too fancy. Before I just set up like one or two tables and some print bins and let people dig through stuff. And I
Do they
set
give
up,
you? Do you get tables there?
you
You
can
can
rent
rent them
tables for
for
$10 a
$5.
piece.
Yeah.
Oh, so that would make sense. So I could rent a table and still make it look nice. I mean,
Yeah.
nice enough.
Yeah.
And you definitely need to bring lights. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy to bring or borrow. I actually have a friend that moved to Kalamazoo. So
Were you there,
anyway, but it
Oscar? Were you there, Oscar?
No, I'm down in Florida. I
Oh,
will
you're
not
down in
do,
Florida still.
no.
Can you tell me, I mean, just I know you were talking about Coconut Grove a couple weeks ago. I was just down in Florida. My dad is ill and I went to see him and he's there. They live in Naples and I know they have two or three big shows and you guys do like all the Florida shows. So you were talking last time about Coconut Grove that it wasn't as good, right? And you had a lot of problems there and
It's not, I didn't have problems per se. I just think
or Barry really had a bad
Barry is the one that complains. To me, was the show, the traffic was not there, the people that buy my work was not there, and I think it was the gate fee. Now,
it's $39 to get in.
Oh,
yeah,
right. Okay.
Sorry.
Now, what
and
other
people
shows are
that
you doing down there right now?
my first shows were Naples New Year, which it was okay. Uh, Naples Invitation was good. Images was a disaster, and that was a shit show for so many
Where's
reasons.
that? Where's Images?
It,
New
New
Smyrna
Smyrna.
Beach.
Oh, okay.
It's a shame what happened to the show, but there's nothing that you can do about it. Um, Fort Myers still my best show in Florida
Okay.
by far.
Okay.
Uh,
When
and
is that? When is that?
first week of February,
Oh, okay.
uh, Sharon McCluster run the show this year. The only thing that I have problem was though, and she told me she nothing she can do about it because she doesn't have control about the music stage. It was on
Uh,
Saturday that a band playing drums, and that was the only time they was getting into my ears really bad. Everything else was horrible. Uh, then I did Coconut Grove, and I just finished Gasparilla, and I
where's
still got one more
Gasparilla?
Tampa.
Oh,
Tampa. Okay.
How was Gasparilla for you?
It was turned out to be good. I got orders after the show,
Okay.
but it's not. It feels like you should do better in that show, but I don't know. They say that there was a NASCAR race in St. Pete, and that put the traffic really bad. Not just in Tampa, there was another one in Sarasota, and the one in Bonita. They all got affected because a lot of people went to the racetrack.
Is
And last
Gasparilla the one that's real dusty, or is that
no,
mainsail?
that's mainsail.
Okay, mainsail.
And where is Winter?
Winter Park is basically a suburb, call it suburb from Orlando, but it's a town.
And is that supposed to be a good show?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a good show, but it's
Mhm.
a really conservative area, and you better have conservative work.
Got it.
And it's a boutique show in reality, so it's really hard to get in. And when I mean boutique show, anything on less than 150 yards is a boutique show in these days.
Anything less than what?
150.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean as far as the sales?
No artists.
Oh, oh, the quantity of artists. I got it.
But it's really well. People go, it's packed. So it's if you can get in, I would just do it. It's one of those no-brainers and see how it goes. Corey, you look so happy.
I've been writing emails all morning.
So your hand is working?
No, it's real fun to try and type with it.
You know, I told you I can go over there and fix it for you.
Yeah, but this way I'll eventually have use of it. Your way, I won't ever have use of it.
Oh, you see?
What's that? What's not working?
What happened to your
Oh
hand,
my
Court?
God. Oh my God. Is it painful?
At times I had surgery on my thumb.
Oh,
Did you have joint reconstruction?
I did.
Yep, I had that. I had that 3 years ago. Being a mailman, my right hand. Yep. Is that the
oh
one where they
man.
is that the one where they take the little tendon and put it in between the joint?
Kind of make a loop for it in your under your thumb.
Yep. And then
That's what I
the,
had
the
done on my right hand. My left hand, I had done a year ago, a little over a year ago, and that was a lot more reconstruction, and they actually fused a joint on it.
oh,
Is
they
this
And that
fused it.
hand,
arthritis?
Okay.
that hand was in a real tight cast for almost 10 weeks.
Is it arthritis?
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah, I
mine's
got the same.
from mine is uh from unloading trucks at Target.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mine is from a fall. Mine is from a fall.
Mine's just arthritis.
Yeah, it really sucks, man. It's so painful. It's unbelievably
It
painful.
was a 3.5 month rehab. I was out of work for three and a
Um,
half months, burned all my
wow.
vacation, all my sick leave, but I didn't miss a paycheck. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
one of the
Court, are
emails
you
I'm writing
able
right
to
now
work?
is one of the
Pardon me?
emails I'm sending right now is to show him on the wait list and basically saying normally I wouldn't ask, but I've got issues with my hand and you'd give me some advance notice on whether or not you think I'm going to get in.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Can you work? Or do you have use of the hand? I know you
Well,
said you
I
have
can use
hands.
my fingers. I
Okay.
mean, when I had the cast on the other hand, the cast came up to about here.
Okay. Okay.
So I could only do this with my left hand. But now,
Okay.
I mean, I've got this. I can do a lot with it.
Okay. So you can do shows and stuff, kind
Yeah.
of, or
Well, I'll be in this for another probably 4 weeks. But it's still going to be after that, probably 2 or 3 months, another 2 or 3 months after that before I really can start lifting and doing things with it.
got it.
Court, where'd you find all those coffee cups?
All those coffee cups belong to a gentleman by the name of Myron T. Liggett or MT Liggett. He was trying to have the world's largest collection of coffee mugs. Unfortunately, the building behind me, which was his workshop, was burned down by some arsonists.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God.
Um, he was a grassroots artist that did these amazing sculptures out in southwestern Kansas in I can't think of the name right now. It's near Greensburg, Kansas. Google MT Liggett, Liggett.
I will.
I
I think
remember
it's
I went there. He also he offends everyone.
he had a lot of commentary and a lot of his signs were political and very interesting gentleman.
You know, I got to tell you, my wife and I, we were flipping the channels last night. We came across Andy Griffith with Ernest T. Bass. That was just amazing. Thank you. And I said totally forgot about good old Ernest T. Bass. That was pretty funny.
His
Speaking of
work's just
offending,
outside of Mullinville, Kansas, which is about 2 hours west of Wichita.
speaking of offending everybody, where's Barry?
Okay, can I say something about Barry? I want to apologize to him, but I don't know if I want to apologize to him just because I said to him, I was talking and all of a sudden he started to talk over me a lot, like in yelling and everything. And I said to him, please don't talk over me, and I think that was the only thing I said to him.
Don't
But then
worry
he's
about it.
like, I'm leaving, I'm going. And he just like left, and I
Oh,
didn't.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry
Don't
about it.
worry about it. Don't worry about
Well,
it.
Everybody
I didn't.
treats Barry that way.
Well, I didn't mean to offend him. I was just
No,
like, I'm
don't
talking. I'm
worry.
gonna
Don't
finish my
worry about it. You will have to see if you see me one day interacting with him, you will be you didn't do anything.
sentence. Okay. Okay, I need to
So
ask you
where
a
is
couple.
Barry?
I don't know where he is. He was in
He's
No,
with his
Florida.
brother. He's
Oh,
with his brother.
okay.
Where's his brother?
They went to see baseball games, and he's going to leave Florida Thursday. He told me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's with
All
the
right,
family, right?
can I ask you guys for some more advice or information? Because
No,
Go
I
ahead.
got
no, you can't.
oh
No, we're not getting. No, just
no,
kidding.
You look up.
come on.
You have to put a
Okay, I
nickel in the
got
slot.
I got waitlisted to 3 other Michigan shows. Croswell, Kensington, and Kalamazoo Institute of Art. So,
Let me just tell you,
I know
Crassel.
Croswell.
Crassel.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to tell you Crassel. Crassel is a tourist area. If you don't get the people from Chicago go to the area, you might not do it as good as you want to do. The show is really hard to do, and it's not 99% of the time, it's not worth doing the show.
Although it used to
Oh,
have a great
really?
reputation.
Yeah.
It has a good reputation.
Well, that
No,
depends.
it has a horrible reputation as of a
Horrible
couple of years ago.
reputation now.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a
Why?
racial,
Why? They're not attracting
no,
Chicagoans, or?
no, there was a
No.
racial incident.
Oh, that's right. Somebody mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
And
So
the problem was the show directors sat there, watched it happen, didn't do anything to stop it, and then after it happened, pretty much threw all the artists under the bus by claiming it's, all the artists are from out of town and we're just troublemakers.
What?
I remember that. That was on Facebook.
They basically canceled the artist who complained.
and since then,
Man.
I was not there. I just saw the
I was there. Was not involved directly with that, but my point of view with everything like that is, if it happens to to the 3 people that got involved are friend of mine. I know them really well. They don't have one on so bad on them. And if that happened to them, what's going to stop anybody else from doing it again? And make this clear. It was handled poorly by everybody, from Chris, Mark, Wendy, the director, the black kid. And I've been told that she got fired this year, but I don't know that for sure.
There's a YouTube video that I was able to download and I gave it to James Parker. It was the YouTube video that black kid put up
Yeah, I saw that one.
claiming racism.
And I comment in that video and they call me Uncle Tom.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh my God.
It was weird.
The Strange World.
Well, you have to understand the dynamics of the area.
Yeah, that's another thing.
The area, and I didn't know this at the time. I did the show once. I didn't realize it was a tourist area, or I would not have done the show. I just don't, because I have horrible sales in tourist areas. I did $300 in sales.
Oh my God.
You have this very, very upscale community, a river, and literally on the other side of the river is a very
Tough neighborhood.
it's economically depressed. There was a factory there, a large factory. You had factory workers. The factory's closed. It's a really depressed area. It's predominantly African
It's not the
American.
other side of the tracks. It's the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, literally the other. I mean, and it is night and day.
Yeah. So it's basically it's one of those shows that I want to touch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
other two I cannot tell you because I never done any of those other two. I never heard of some of them.
Oh, okay. I mean, literally, I was just going through his application, literally, and looking at Michigan, Kentucky, Missouri, and Pennsylvania.
It's not that much to look around there, to be honest with you. It Michigan shows I would tell you apply to anything that the guild does.
Yeah, I did.
Uh,
Yeah.
then and if you want to go, there's nothing in Chicago that I would recommend you to go because it's the cost of doing the show is really high and the race is really high. So
Okay.
I would not tell you with high confidence any show that you're going to do well.
Okay.
And
Oscar, what about Naperville?
Naperville is an extremely conservative area. And you can make money, but you have to have a conservative product. And what I mean conservative product is a traditional artwork. No, that whole area is really traditional. As last year, the whole area, that show, Geneva, those are traditional areas. You have to have a traditional look, a traditional presentation, and that's what they buy because it's conservative, all conservative people. And when I mean all conservative, I'm talking the all conservative. I'm not talking like what you might think now.
I got you.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of shows in Missouri. We've got a St. Louis, Brookside, and Plaza, and they're all difficult to get into.
And Belleville.
And-
Belleville is Illinois.
No, it's
And
right
Lau,
beside the city.
Laumeier, right? Laumeier. Or
Longmont.
Yeah,
You can also
Lomire
try,
and St. Louis.
No,
I'm
Belleville
trying
is a
Queen's Park
suburb.
also.
What's that? There's one in
Park.
Columbia, Missouri as well. I know I've heard a couple people talk about it a little, but it's the same weekend as another big show. And there's another fall show. There's two more fall shows in St. Louis. Shaw and the one at the brewery. The one at the brewery is local artists only. And I don't know about Shaw.
Shaw is open to everybody, but it's a neighborhood by the botanical garden. It's a nice show, but I don't know how much support gets. It's
Well-
always well put together, but doesn't get us. You're hoping for one big whale. So if you don't have big ticket item, you might be it might not be worth the drive. Because the main thing is if you have low ticket items, you're looking for volume because you need high traffic. Hopefully, your buyers will be buying stuff in there. But right now, I think that's going away. So basically, you depend on high ticket items right now.
Well, that's what
So
I was reading somewhere. I forget where it backs up what you were saying, Oscar, that, and I think we were talking about it some other time where like the middle has fallen out, like 18 by 24s that I used to sell framed and unframed. People are going more for the smaller or the bigger items and not in the middle range.
I would tell you, like when I came down here, I didn't brought any extra prints, no extra mats. I just ordered 50 mats. And I finally got to use all the mats when I did Gasparilla.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
But
Good.
no, that means like I just put in the mats, replacing what I saw. And years before, like a Coconut Grove, I would sell 60 to 100 prints easily.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
and that I think I probably saw 20 this year. It
So
could be
what do you mean when you say I had 50 and I'm swapping them out or something? What do you mean?
I ordered 50 mats, 11 by 14s with the opening, and normally that would be 2 shows. Then I would have to order another 50 more. And it's not didn't happen this year. I done basically 7 shows, and I didn't have to order more mats.
Okay, got it.
I thought you did mostly print on demand, Oscar, or is that
Yeah,
just for the
but I
Met?
still had the print band. I got print band. So what I've been selling a lot is the metal prints, and that's been saving my ass. I feel,
The bigger ones,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. So 40 by 16 and 30 by 45 in Gasparilla, and that just makes it a good show. But that's the trend. There's some people that don't get me wrong, and people are doing really, really good. But it's all the class people with expensive stuff, the sculpture with expensive stuff, really high. But once again, everybody's hoping there's just a Florida thing right now because the cost of the housing is going really, really hard on people. There's a lot of adjustment, like the insurance went up again, HOAs and with all the stuff. So it could be just a Florida thing. So I would say right now that I hope it's just a Florida thing.
Well,
Unfortunately, I
I
don't think it's a Florida thing.
yeah, see, the thing is, I listen to NPR. That's where I get all my news, is NPR radio. And there's a economic program for half an hour from 6 to 6:30. And it's run by this guy named Kai Rizdal. And whoever he has on as other economists talking about the economy and the market and whatever, for years, they have been saying the exact same thing. They get on there, and you know that 70% of the US economy, GDP, is consumer spending. 70. 70% of the US economy is consumer spending. And that number pretty much does not go down. Now, how can that be when inflation costs, people are talking about the cost of eggs, doubling or tripling or what have you, just as a symbol of everything else. Plus, like you say, cost of housing skyrocketing. People, well, not millennials, really, Gen Z and everything else, will probably never be able to afford a house. Really, many of them will never be able to afford a
Well,
house like baby boomers
yeah, but they won't be able
were.
to
But
afford
let me
houses
finish. Let me finish.
because companies are
So,
buying the houses up.
right, exactly. I mean, we have companies, I don't even know where what do they call them, those investors, those things
Hedge
that,
funds, hedge funds,
what are they called? What are they
hedge
Hedge
called?
fund.
Equity
funds.
funds or hedge funds, exactly. They buy up, like in Cleveland, they bought up whole neighborhoods or almost like whole areas of Cleveland, and they
Yep.
jack up the rents. It's really horrific. It's really horrible. I
Well,
mean,
the other problem is there's not enough housing
yeah,
because
I
after
know.
2008, the building
We,
stopped.
this country, yeah. I mean, okay, there's so many things you can talk about. But anyway, this concept of being unsustainable, the consumer spending has not abated. It has continued apace. So even though inflation is driving costs up, today Trump's 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada went into effect, another 10% on China went into effect. Farmers are complaining, the stock market is crashing. All of this stuff is happening right now. And even from what I hear, his supporters, the people who voted him into office, are starting to have a few regrets, which is amazing because they never would admit that before. But in interviews or what have you, in surveys, they're saying yes. Anyway, 70% of the US economy is consumer spending. Inflation is going up. Housing is completely unaffordable, etc. And jobs are being lost. I mean, so
Yeah.
many people are losing their jobs, not only federal government, but many others.
But
And
if it's not
especially,
recorded, like if job going forward, if job loss, unemployment rates are not recorded, then it's like it doesn't exist.
right, but this is seriously happening, like you say, on the ground. And so this guy Kai Rizdal, who is Marketplace 6 to 6:30 at night on NPR, he's like, how can this continue? And these
Right.
economists are literally shaking their heads. How can people keep spending at the rate that they're spending when all of the indicators for how their economic situation has declined?
Credit.
And
But
so
you don't
I
have no
think
choice.
well, no, it said people are hardwired to shop. It's like in America, it's like part of your DNA. You were born and out of the womb, you're just supposed to shop and shop and shop and shop and shop and shop and shop until you die. And then your kids have to take care of all your stuff. And
But
people often, I think people often, when they come to art fairs, they have no conception of what they're going to do with the thing that they buy. I mean, some people know, other people do not. It's just an impulse buy. And I know for photography, people are just like putting it unframed, whatever, on a shelf and doing nothing with it. And I mean, I have people tell me this. I bought a piece from you 3 years ago. I haven't put it in a frame yet, literally. So, I mean, when is it going to break? When is the breaking point
I
ever
got
going
to
to be
tell
reached? Who
you,
knows ever?
when I would like it to break in 10 years from now after I retire.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, my friend. I know what you mean. Absolutely. But I
So
mean,
I
see,
really,
people, they just ring up their credit card bills. They just ring up their credit card bills and they must not care what they pay in interest. They must not care. They must not care. Or then they go bankrupt and they don't care and they wait 7 years and then they're out of bankruptcy. Who knows? Who knows? But whatever it is, they can't stop shopping. They can't stop shopping. They can't
well,
stop
that's the economy that we
new
live.
and bigger TV, new and bigger TV,
For
Well,
recline.
comic
let's
they
have
buy
this
new
conversation.
stuff because it's something
What's up?
that's in fashion now, but they buy the same size prints and they have a closet or a box or whatever, and they put their old ones in there, and then they put the new matted print in the frame, and then they just rotate through their collection of prints.
Well,
So
maybe, but maybe not.
Let's
Yeah.
Hey,
have this conversation a year from now or several months from now. I mean, because I worry that it is going to stop. And even with people who have money, buying, I think, is a psychology. It's, when people feel good.
I got to
And
tell this
yeah,
conversation similar I had this morning. Uh, and if it gets really bad, even the rich people will stop buying because they don't want to, they don't want to be showing off or anything like that. Even at least in Chicago, that was what happened in 2008. Like people didn't want to spend money because everybody was suffering. So
that's,
well,
I think, that's a Midwestern thing, I think.
yeah,
I watch a lot of the craft, uh, like YouTube and Facebook or whatever, and it's been like 6, 8 months that they've been doing repair, upcycling, recycling, thrift store shopping to make something new for yourself type of thing, or for sales. There's a lot more people that do replace, recycling of some sort. One jeweler, she goes and looks for old car parts and she makes those into earrings and bracelets and brooches. She says she loves the old radiators. They make great pieces for earrings, type of thing. She puts probably at least as much work in it as Allison, but it's essentially stuff she scavenged.
But there's
Her prices
the
are up
the
there.
the, the thing is, there's also, remember, the wealthiest have gotten wealthier, over the last, I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
8, 10 years or so, or and i- it's I mean, there are people who live very, very differently and don't even have to make airline reservations because they just, they can go to the private part of the airport. And so we have to remember that, I don't know if those people are coming to a lot of art fairs or not, but
No, no, they're not
um,
coming to our affairs, honestly.
well, there's one art fair I do that they come to. So
Okay,
uh
I will tell you something. I have a very good friend who lives in Weaverville, North Carolina, just outside of Asheville. She's a jeweler, Q Yvonne, her Suzanne Q Yvonne, and she's done art fairs for a long time. She knows Bonnie, she knows the garage sale. She used to do
She's a
Columbus.
model and she works
She's
all
a
over the
mod.
world.
Yeah, she's an international model. She was almost the L'Oreal girl. I mean, she's fantastic. She's a really good person, and she does beautiful work. She mostly sells her jewelry on high-end cruise ships with few like small high-end cruise ships. Like she has a whole store on these that are like 400 people or whatever. They go to the Arctic, who knows? They're all around the world. I mean, she told me today I had to buy 16 one-way tickets around the world to send my people to these different cruise ships. Okay. So, but she says all I have to do, these people have so much money, so much money. All I have to do is create some little bauble, some little thing that is going to catch a woman's eye and think, oh, I don't have this thing. This thing is interesting to me, and she will buy it. 25 grand, what have you. And she says, all I have to do is create something that will catch their eye.
but she also has probably, I would imagine she has a name, and their friends, like, if one person buys something, their friends know how much they paid for it. Like, it has a, what do they call it? Veblen products. Um, uh, Veblen wrote a book. What is it? Something of the
Oh,
leisure class,
the
and
theory of the
yeah,
leisure.
that's right.
Thorsten
Yeah,
Veblen. Yeah, Thorsten Veblen. Yeah, theory of the
yeah,
leisure class. Yeah. And
and
conspicuous consumption. You do have to show people that you're wealthy. That's part of being wealthy, is that you have to show yourself to be wealthy. It's
right,
part of it.
and it depends. I mean, because there's one art fair I do, and um, you know, in a very wealthy area. And I actually had to go to a customer's house to, when she bought a bracelet, I said I could make it smaller. And she said, no, I like the way it fits. And before I left town, I went to her house, and upon walking into the house, I saw a ceramic artist I know who, it's like an $11,000 sculpture in her front entryway, which that's probably not that much money for this class of people. But um, it's, yeah, they live differently than we do.
Very much. And income inequality is only increasing. So there's no more middle class. There's a huge number of people who are poor or barely getting by. And there's a few super rich and more super rich that are getting more and more super rich. But the income inequality in the United States is like that of a third world country. It has been for
Yes.
a long time. It's like that of a third world country, and it's only getting more exacerbated.
I used to sell to school teachers, like kindergarten teachers would love wearing earrings of mine because all the children would notice. And, it was just, and they obviously liked the work. But yeah, I used to always sell to school teachers. That died a long time ago. So as far as inflation goes, their money doesn't go as far. So, people who might like once a year buy something from an artist, can't afford to do that now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
A large part of the middle part of the market at art fairs started disappearing 15 years ago. And what we're seeing now is just it's a continuation of that, but it just happened really fast.
2008, that housing crisis, I think, killed it.
Yeah, that was a big blow. That was a big blow.
And then all these hedge funds bought thousands of homes at one time. And Joe Biden actually had this plan to basically force these companies to sell over a 10-year period of time the houses back to individuals. You know, it's better for community also. But there was a period of time before 2008 where people were using their homes as leverage. You know, they'd get those what are those loans called
Reverse
against your
mortgages.
no, no, not at all. They
Reverse
were home equity
mortgages.
loans. Like it was a
Oh yeah.
revolving credit. And you know, and then use their homes that way. Um,
Yeah, a lot of people do
be,
that.
because the value kept going up and up and up. So
But like, have you seen The Big Short? Have you guys ever seen The Big Short with
yes.
Steve Carell and oh, it's such a good movie. It just explains the 2008 housing crisis so clearly. Unbelievable. I've seen it 3 times. It's fantastic.
I remember banks were loaning people money on the gross of their income, not the net of their income.
Yeah.
And so they bought homes they couldn't afford.
Well, they go to Florida actually. Steve Carell and his group is like four coworkers in this investment group. They go to Florida and they see, they see hookers who own 4 big houses in Florida.
Hmm.
'Cause they were so easy to buy. They didn't need credit checks or anything. They were just, all these bad mortgages that these real estate people were giving out and selling the derivatives and all this stuff, how
And banks
complicated
were
it
giving
began.
them
We
out.
saw
Banks were giving them out
Iceland.
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
You're
Right and left.
you're right. Iceland, you're right.
We bankrupted Iceland. And the only thing that saved Iceland were women bankers. Women bankers who did not act like the gamblers that men bankers are, who just, you know, whatever, they're just so risk, they take risks that women bankers did not take, and they rescued Iceland out of bankruptcy that we put them in.
All right, folks, I got to run. I've got some things to do before my Zoom tonight. So see
So
everybody
sorry.
later.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Be
See you
good.
after 5. Bye, Court.
Oscar.
Yes, sir.
So, have you done Naperville?
Yeah, I done it once, and I was not impressed. That's a show that if you do it, you have to be in the main street.
Right. Yeah.
If you're in the by the river, you're going to not get the same traffic,
Yeah. I was
regardless
looking
what
at
they tell you.
I was looking at the map, and it looked like that was a terrible place.
Yeah, so if you do it, apply. Make sure you get to the street. If she assign you by the river, just go with low expectations.
Right. Right. And what's the deal with the Ann Arbor, the Guild, the summer show?
What you want to know?
Have you done that?
For
Yeah,
years.
I'm a board member. What you want to know?
Ah, well, Marianne does abstract, and we're on the wait list, so we're hoping that
That's a Nicole thing.
yeah, we called her, and she said that looked like we're probably going to get in.
Yeah, they get people call in, but I don't have no control. I don't have no control about that. That's Nicole's.
No, I get that. Sorry. I guess my question is, how does abstract go down there, up there?
It's
What you mean the
you see
traffic?
so many people, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's so
okay.
many people. The main thing is like if you get to the show, I don't know if you're going to be able to get from the layout. The hot street to get in is Main Street, but you have to have, there's a wait list for people to get to Main Street. So somebody had to go retire before you can get a spot in Main Street. Most
Sure.
then the next thing you want to do, if you're in the South View section, you want to be as close as you can to State Street. You want to be in the State Street section from the Guild. The farther away you get from that area, the less traffic you get. So basically, if you buy church or anything like that, you need to close the deal on the spot, because most likely you won't see the person again. The main difference between State Street and Main Street from the other section is you got more restaurants in the area and people will hang around a little bit more. So it's a
Yeah,
better
there's
chance to
also
make it.
bus stops at the end of the street for the shuttle
Yeah.
bus.
Say that again, Larry.
Shuttle bus stops that go around the fairs at
Oh,
at the end of the street.
okay.
I used to
So
be 5 or 6 booths in on Main Street, and it was great. We had a 17-foot booth.
Wow.
yeah. So I'm trying to get myself a 10 by 20 just to give an idea, and I'm waiting for them to tell me if I can get it.
Why don't you just go for a 10 by 17?
Doesn't work. I don't have a 10 by feet. I figured out how to do it, but then it's too much work at night to break it down and put everything back away.
Because I used to set up a 6-foot room behind my booth.
Yeah,
for
but
storage.
yeah, it's just a pain in the ass.
And
And
then
keep in
I
mind that I
had,
share the room with Barry.
yeah, I had 12-inch awning made for the front.
Yeah,
So I went back 12 inches from everybody else, but I could put up an awning
yeah.
because you're not allowed awnings on Main Street.
No, you cannot because of the fire line.
Right.
So, and if you're Main Street, 2 feet of your tennis over the curb. And some
Unless you're in a
spots.
17-foot space.
Exactly. They regulate off of these things. They are.
What?
Sorry, guys. One of my customers. Okay. Well, we'll see if we get in. We're going to try it. We did get into Cherokee Triangle, so that should be
Where's
interesting.
that? Where's that one?
Louisville, Kentucky. It's the week
okay.
before the Derby.
Ah,
Yeah. So Marion's got some really nice horses that she did, and which actually sold at St. James. So she's painting some more. And
I got waitlisted for that show, but I'm already got invited to La Fiesta, so I'm going to San Antonio.
oh, okay. That's a long truck for us.
It's a long drive for me also. Don't get, it's like coming to Miami.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Oh my gosh. I'm
how is
sorry,
it? There's some fires in South Carolina.
Yeah. So Horry County, Myrtle Beach, they that one was kind of out of control, but they I think it's finally under control. There's been some spot fires throughout the whole state. And actually there's some fires up in North Carolina outside of Charlotte. And
Oh.
It's
it's
those
like
people from the West Coast came over.
No.
it's those stupid people who don't understand that, if you're going to burn yard trash, you got to stand there with a shovel and your hose and don't leave it. But of course they walk away, and
Is that what
those embers-
happened?
so that's what they're thinking, that the embers just jumped.
Right.
And I mean, I have a fire pit in my backyard. I have watched embers from my fire pit float up in the air and then land further in the back of my yard, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Is it very dry? Like, have you not been getting the usual rains?
Yeah, it's been really dry, and
Okay.
Like in here in Florida, Allison is like in the campground, the lagoons are about 2 feet below what it's supposed to be.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
And,
there's
It's really,
several
really dry.
retention ponds. Yeah, the neighborhood that I deliver in has several retention ponds, and they're pretty big. They're probably half-acre ponds, and they are down. They are really down.
wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we desperately need some rain.
It's been dry out west also, like just really below. And we depend upon snowpack, but it's there we actually have had red flag warnings this week because it's so like crazy windy, over 50-mile-an-hour winds. And so some of the electric company says they may have to do some shutdown. If it gets too windy and it's so dry, they want to shut the electricity to prevent fires in the first place. But you don't expect it so much uh on the East Coast, well, until now.
Yeah, yeah. I was listening to you guys talking um, about pricing and folks buying. It's interesting because like the smallest thing that Marianne has, and it's usually enhanced print for about 18 to $2,700. And then of course her originals are, anywhere from 4 to 12,000. And so everything she does is big and expensive.
Hey,
And the real interesting thing is now when we went to we did Piccolo Spoleto, which is here in Charleston. And we had several people who were, I know, this couple built a house. No, they bought a house and refurbished it. And I mean, it's got to be a $2-3 million house. And of course, this is their third home that they bought. Their first home is in Greenville, South Carolina. Their second home is in Florida. And these, I mean, like you said, people who got money, they just, they kind of flown it. And we were very blessed to be on the receiving end of that. They walked in the tent and bought a $7,000 painting, didn't even blink. And we delivered it. We hung it, and it's just amazing how I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody, I think it was during 2008. Now, of course, we weren't doing shows. We've only been doing shows 4 years, so we really don't know anything. We're still learning from all you guys.
hey, I'm going to cut this short, so
Okay.
another minute.
Okay. So, long and short of it is, I remember hearing a podcast, not the Independent Artist podcast, but another podcast, and the guy said, when 2008 hit and things were rough, he went bigger and he went more expensive, and he said, people with money will always spend money, and that's what we've been experiencing the last couple of years, and I know it's very different from jewelers and photographers because um, you know but then there are those folks who will go by your booth and they'll buy a beautiful piece for $4,000. So we're praying for a good year, guys. That's all.
Well, I'm going to let you guys go because I need to take care of myself.
I'm
See you
headed
guys.
out too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
thank
guys.
you.
Have a wonderful evening. See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.